Welcome to the Money Manifestation Mastery podcast with your host, Lara Waldman, where we talk all things money. Big money, big purpose, big power. Waking up your wealth for heart-centered business owners and entrepreneurs. In today's episode, we are deep diving into the fear of visibility. Has the fear of visibility been blocking you or stopping you from moving forward in your business, from moving forward in your life? This is a common manifestation block and a really important one to look at and address. And it is one that I also really struggled with and learned to overcome. And in today's episode, I'll be talking with you about this and sharing my step-by-step process to support you to transform your fear of visibility once and for all. Let's dive in. This week, I've been running the Living Abundance Wealth Retreat. This is my free online event for transformational educators, business owners, leaders, professionals all around the world. It has been so beautiful sharing the manifestation mastery work, how to consciously create wealth in all areas of your life, guided by your heart, your body, and your soul, live with so many exceptional humans. It's been beautiful. And it really is a healing balm for me, being able to share this work with other people and really sink into the riches of this work. It is beautiful. It is my heaven on earth. And stepping into that event was on the back of quite a painful week. I submitted a chapter in which I'm co-authoring a book all around legacy. And I had quite a painful week writing a story about my past, about my childhood, about everything I've had to overcome to be who I am, to bring my work out in the world, to follow the guidance of my heart, body, and soul, and the painful transformation and evolutionary journey that I've been on in order to get to this place. And it's been so interesting to review what I've had to overcome over the last 3 decades, because I woke up to health and healing and well-being in my teens. That was 3 decades ago, which I can't quite believe. And with that chapter, which will be coming out in September 2024, it's all about living your legacy and who you're here to become and who you truly are and what you're here to seed plant and to share and to give and to grow. And for me, this journey was about overcoming some very deep fears. And one of them being fear of visibility, fear of being my true authentic self in the world, and this battle I've had with myself for so long. And part of this journey has been about growing and evolving beyond family, some of the family dynamics, the family patterns, what feel like these invisible contracts of who you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to behave, what's acceptable, not acceptable. And many times it's felt like walking to my death to follow my heart and soul, being willing to let go of everything and everyone that is no longer aligned with where I'm going. And this journey has been about overcoming thoughts, stories, and beliefs that are based on old trauma, stories, experiences of the past, and really listening to my heart, body, and soul, which is guiding me into creating a world of wealth beyond my lived experience from the past. And this is what this work is all about. But there's always another level, and I'm blown away by the continual journey of growth and evolution that this work takes me on, as well as my clients. So as I was writing this chapter, I was witnessing myself really struggling with getting the words out. And again, I found this other place, this deeper level of myself that was still hiding, was silent, was nonverbal. I found a place in myself where I was staying silent and small in order to protect my family, certain family members, and also to protect myself from attack and abandon, because that's always the story that's running in my traumatized system, that if I am me, if I step into this next level of who I am and what I'm here to do, that I'll be attacked, abandoned, judged, criticized, misunderstood, and all alone. So this is the story that is rewiring, but it does like to flare up, especially when I'm on a new edge, which is most of the time. So in the wealth retreat this week, one of the participants was talking about one of the blocks that came up that was blocking her from manifesting what she wanted. And one of the blocks that came up was fear of visibility. And this fear of visibility is something that I've worked through over and over again and on different levels and layers. And I would love to dive into with you today because it's such a powerful, deep, rich conversation. And I know it's a number one block for so many big-hearted leaders in the world. You've got so many gifts to share. You have so much wisdom. You have a wealth of resources inside of you. And yet that fear of visibility can stop you in your tracks from sharing that gift, from really stepping into that next level of what you're being called into. And that's in your business, in your finances, in your life, who you're being, how you're living, and how you're leading. The fear of visibility is such an interesting one because it has many levels and layers to it, and it manifests itself in a number of different ways. And there'll be the surface level symptom of that fear of visibility that can really show up in lots and lots of ways. But the example that came up in the retreat was that this woman was in confusion around marketing. So she wasn't able to move forward with marketing her business because she didn't know what platform to go on, how to do it, what the next step was. So there was kind of an overwhelm or confusion, lack of clarity. And so when we scratched the surface beneath that, we found the fear of visibility under it. And this is the thing, that these fears we have will manifest in certain symptoms that will look like not being able to take action or confusion or overwhelm or anxiety, all sorts of ways that we distract or sabotage or numb or avoid. It's incredible how it manifests. And this is why I'm always inviting you to go deeper. The surface level symptom is giving you information, but it's not the root cause. So let's go deeper. The first time I really met my visibility block, my visibility fear, was when I started training as an actress. And that was incredibly uncomfortable, incredibly scary. But I got to hide behind a role. I got to hide behind a character. And even though it was terrifying getting on stage or being in front of the camera, I had some place to hide. The next time that I faced my visibility fear was when I had the soul's guidance that I needed to start a YouTube channel. I'd been hiding as a healer, having exceptional results with my clients, but no one knew that I existed except, the small amount of clients I was working with in London. And when I got this message that I needed to start a YouTube channel and started sharing the information I had online publicly, you might as well have asked me to walk to my death because everything in my body froze and seized. And I couldn't take that action. I was unable to move forward. So I had to do a lot of work with this visibility block and visibility fear. And I uncovered so much information. There was a lot of past life information that came through me at that point. But persecution fear was a really big one. And I do think that this lives down through our ancestral history of it not being safe to be too visible for all sorts of ancestral reasons. And I found it very much rooted back to my childhood as well, and my relationship with my mother, where being me triggered her, being my full self challenged her. And there was a part of myself that was shamed and, punished for being me. And so there was a deep, deep hardwiring that who I am, if I really show up as who I am, I'm not safe, I'm not lovable, I'm not wanted. Very, very deep-rooted patterns there. So I learned to do a lot of deep diving work to get to the root and pull out the root of that visibility fear. So it's very normal when it comes to visibility blocks to have the fear of rejection or the fear of criticism, the fear of judgment, the fear of attack, the fear of abandon. That's a pretty classic thing that comes up when we identify the visibility fear. And that visibility fear will come up when you're being guided to be more visible, particularly when it comes to marketing in your business. Maybe you're being guided to go on social media or go on a new platform or do public speaking or write a book. So when you get that message or that knowing that there's a next level of visibility for you, if you're going to follow that heart, body, soul aligned guidance, this is when these blocks and barriers can come up. So we want to meet them, hold them, and eventually transform them so that you can take that next brave, bold, aligned action step. Even when you're shaking in your boots and it's wobbly and imperfect, we want you to be able to keep moving forward. So part of the challenge is you're going to be up against old stories or belief, old patterns, old programs that are running through your system versus reality, that you may risk being judged or criticized as you move forward, as you be yourself. And the challenge is holding both, right? Because a lot of it is story. A lot of it are thoughts that are running your mind, that are impacting your emotions and your nervous system, that affects your ability to take action or the action you take and don't take. Most of it is going on like smoke and mirrors inside of yourself. But of course, as you're putting yourself out there, you may also risk judgment and criticism. I would say the most painful for me is the judgment and criticism I've received from those closest to me, particularly family members. And that actually shocked me the most. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting, attack and judgment from the general public. And actually, that isn't the thing that hurts. What's hurt the most is when it comes from people who are supposed to love me and support me. And that was an unexpected one. But even then, the tools and techniques that I share with you in this podcast are all designed essentially to hold yourself through whatever storms may come. So why is transforming visibility blocks so important when it comes to manifestation mastery? What's really interesting about the visibility blocks is there will be a part of yourself that you are hiding, a part of yourself that you are masking, a part of yourself that is like the buried treasure. So you may have your professional self. You share and expose a certain part of yourself professionally or socially. You may share a certain version of yourself publicly. And then privately, there'll be another version of yourself. And that part is living a very different experience or experiencing a very different thing than who you're presenting publicly or socially. Now, of course, this is normal and healthy, and it's absolutely fine to have different versions of yourself in different parts of your life. But what we want to do is make sure that you are holding these parts, because most often people are unconsciously masking or hiding aspects of themselves that you don't even realize until you start walking this manifestation mastery path. As you go towards what you want, you're going to reveal more and more about yourself that you didn't even realize. This is mining for gold, where you go and find that buried treasure within. And this is what's so exceptional about this work, and what's so exciting about this work is you get to know yourself on deeper and richer levels. Parts of yourself that you may have cut off from or hidden or have been protecting for a very, very long time. And that part is still within you, but often hiding in the shadows of shame and pain. So part of this work is going in and meeting those parts of yourself. Because the part that you're masking and hiding is disconnected, is separate from yourself. And what happens is that part that's hiding or that you're masking leaks a lot of energy. It will leak time energy, mental energy, emotional energy, money energy. It will have you spinning your wheels and struggling to move forward. So there's a lot of costs to hiding and masking parts of yourself when it comes to manifestation mastery. This disconnect blocks your ability to manifest. It blocks your power to create. Not completely, but it actually makes it a lot harder. So part of hacking the system of manifestation mastery and stepping into your power to create is going to meet these hidden, unheld, unsafe aspects and go and love them back into life. So the theory is that when you can hold and meet and receive and love all of yourself, particularly the part that you're hiding and masking and protecting, when you can go and meet that part of yourself and help this part of you to feel safe, then it unlocks the blocks. It unlocks the barriers to being yourself, expressing yourself, being able to take that next step into the world, to feel safe and secure, to be yourself in the world. And also it opens up the floodgates of creation, of life force energy, but also your capacity to receive. Because the part that is hiding in those visibility blocks, the parts that you're protecting or masking, blocks out unintentionally what it is that you want to receive. It's like these invisible walls of protection, this padding, this invisible barrier that unconsciously pushes out or rejects the very thing that you want. So the step-by-step process to money manifestation mastery is designed to support you with this. What we want to do is go and meet yourself deeply. So we go into a safe space to relax, to release the blocks and barriers, the fears of visibility, embody that future version of you. Who are you becoming? And start to bring that into the body, build that safety. What does it feel like when you are beyond that block, when you're able to feel safe and secure to show up and be visible? And that rewire to receive process where you open up to all the beautiful possibilities that are on the other side of this visibility block. And then tuning into aligned action are you being guided to take. And in there, when you're meeting your visibility blocks, you're going to be meeting these aspects of yourself I call the unheld, unloved, unmet aspects. And your job is to go in and meet them. And first get to know them, talk to this part. What are they scared of? What are they hiding? What are they protecting? I love journaling with this part. You can meditate with this part. Get to know this part of you. What do they need to feel safe? What are their unmet needs? Go and find out. How can you meet these needs? What do they need to feel safe and secure and loved? Get to know what those needs are. And then your job is to go and meet those needs. Your job is to receive that part of yourself. Your job is to love that part of you into life. So this is a relationship to develop between your wise leader self, the visionary self, and the small, scared, wounded parts. And this part that's hiding is holding buried treasure for you. It's holding your gifts, holding your light, holding your power to create. So when you can meet them, hold them, love them, help to build that safety for yourself, it's going to unlock that next level. And yes, anytime you do something for the first time, you're going to feel scared. You're going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to be imperfect. So there is a process of just facing the fear and doing it anyways. But the more that you can hold this part of yourself and build that safety for yourself, the easier it will become. And as you are moving through these blocks and barriers, the old stories are coming up and your nervous system is having reactions and responses. Your job is to regulate, again, to self-soothe and to do everything you can to support yourself through this process. Definitely one of the mistakes I made was wanting everything to be safe and okay in the outside world so I could feel safe to be myself. And this left me in a long, painful waiting game where I was waiting for everyone else to shift and change and the world to shift and change so I could be safe to be myself. And that just left me waiting. And I finally realized that I was wasting my life waiting. hiding, protecting, and I had to take that risk and move forward. And the interesting thing is now I can see it was simply just fear. And it's not that some of those fears didn't manifest, but mostly they didn't. Occasionally, but mostly they didn't. It was mostly just the smoke and mirrors and stories in my head. And then the more I did something, like took that action, the easier it became. And then those things that terrified me 5 years ago, I really enjoy now, just simply from having done it over and over again. So this is why it's so important to follow your heart and your soul and that vision, because it's going to help you move through the old stories, the old dynamics, the old habits that are creating a real cost to you in your life. And it's absolutely fine either way, but you have to decide where you want to live from, what you want to experience, how you want to lead in your life, and make a really brave and bold decision to listen and to follow that beautiful vision and get all the support you need to overcome those visibility blocks. And my guidance says, be the tree that you came here to be. Stand tall, stand strong, root down deep, grow those branches high, bend with the stormy weather, right? But keep holding the line. And your job is to hold yourself, love yourself, receive yourself, nurture yourself, no matter what projections, judgments come from outside of you. Your job is to hold yourself, love yourself back into life, and listen deeply to yourself. And keep doing the inner work of healing, of evolving, of growing, of learning, of unlearning. Because you will be growing, evolving, and changing as you follow this step-by-step process. Your gifts are needed. You have so much inside of you that this world needs and that you need, right? This is for you and for your work and for the world and for future generations. Let your heart and soul, that inner wisdom, that wealthy wisdom within, lead you and guide you. And please know that you do not have to do this alone. We are here to support you. We've got a wealth of resources here for you. So tap in, come to my website, larawaldman.com, and tap into the wealth of resources that we have for you. And we've also recently launched a new program for you, the Living Abundance Mastermind. It is designed to help you through this, to support you, take your hand through the step-by-step process to manifestation mastery. And the whole program is designed with the support that you need to keep going through the ups and the downs, through the successes and the failures, to hold you and support you to keep going so you don't bail on yourself, collapse on yourself, give up on yourself. We are here to hold you and support you. We have exceptional results and testimonials that are on my website, larawaldman.com, that you can check out. Listen to other people's stories of what is possible with this work. It is truly exceptional, and we'd love to support you. You can also book in for a call with me. Go to my website, larawaldman.com, click on Breakthrough, and book in a call, and we can have a deep dive together and help you with your next best steps. Thank you so much for joining me today, diving into the fear of visibility. I would love to know what's landing for you in today's conversation. Please reach out, let me know, and I look forward to being with you again next time.